Hey everyone, I'm John, and today we're talking about how to become unstoppable with Relentless. Now in this book, Tim Grover talks about this concept of cleaners. These are people who are unstoppable. These are the ultimate competitors and the people who refuse to stop until they get what they want. They aren't just people who do the job. They are people who define what the work is about. These are your champions like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, all those different types of people. There's 3 different levels of mindset in this book. You have a cooler, which is good. You have a closer, who is great. And you have a cleaner, who is unstoppable. One of the biggest lessons in this book is that you should not stop at anything to achieve what you want in the world. It really comes down to your goals, your decisions, your commitments, and your follow-through. And if you don't have a vision and you can't see the end result, who's going to see it for you? Success can be whatever you want it to be, so long as you can see it. You already know what you have to do, and when to do it, how to do it, but you don't. So the question is what's really stopping you? And being the best means engineering your life so that you can achieve the impossible. And you keep going. The impossible is now possible. And then you go for even more. And this is relentless. You have to stop listening to what everyone else has to say about you. They'll tell you what to do, they'll tell you how you should act, how you should feel, and you should ignore that. Instead, let them judge you based off of your results. You have to decide, commit, act, succeed, and repeat that over and over again. And this relentless mentality is that you demand more out of yourself than anyone else would. And when you stop, although you know you could stop, you keep going. Success is about dealing with reality. We all have our demons. We all have our challenges through life. And how do we proceed through those? Your strategy in being relentless is to bring people up to your level, not to fall down to their level. You're not competing with anyone else. You're competing with yourself. You'll never see an obstacle or a problem as a stopping point. You'll see it as a path forward. The obstacle is the way. In order to have what you really want, you must first become who you really are. Being relentless means never being satisfied. It means creating new goals when you hit those milestones. If you're good today, you don't stop until you're great. If you're great, you don't stop until you're unstoppable. Greatness makes you a legend. But being the absolute best makes you an icon. If you want to be great, deliver the unexpected. If you want to be unstoppable, deliver a miracle. You'll never see problems as problems. You'll see them as situations that you can tackle head on. You continue trying and trying until you find a solution, and people will stare at you in awe. There are 13 characteristics of being a cleaner. Number 1, you keep pushing yourself harder when everyone else has had enough. Number 2, you get in the zone and you control the uncontrollable. Number 3, you know exactly who you are. 4, you have a dark side to yourself who doesn't settle for good. 5, you're not intimidated by pressure. You actually thrive off of it. 6, when everyone is in trouble, they look for you for a solution. 7, you're not competing with anyone. You're just finding weaknesses to attack on. 8, you're not making suggestions, you're making decisions. 9, you don't have to love the work, but you're obsessed with the results. 10, you'd rather be feared than to be liked. 11, you trust very few people, but the ones you trust will never let you down. 12, you don't recognize failure, you use it as an opportunity. 13, you don't celebrate your achievements because you always want more. You have to train like a pro to become a pro. You have to commit your work to the highest level of intensity. That everything you do is always working to become better, leaving no subject to chance. But you can't physically train your body until you've already mastered your mind. Your mind has to be able to take you there. You have to teach your mind to train the body. So while you can be physically dominant, you have to be mentally dominant to become unstoppable. You have to do the work every single day, even if you don't want to. You have to challenge yourself to become uncomfortable and push through laziness and fear. If you want success of any kind, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. This all goes back to fundamentals. You take one step at a time. Those small steps eventually add up to become something great, and each day is a little bit more progress. So ask yourself, where are you now and where do you want to be? Ask yourself if you're willing to get there. If you are, make a plan and act upon it. People refuse to work out or go on diets, learn new skills, go back to college, whatever it might be, because they're uncomfortable with that idea. They're uncomfortable with the fact that that could lead to results. Now, there's this thing called the zone. This is when you're not thinking, you're only performing. This is a state of being present. No fear, no intrusion, just total concentration. This is when you can take each individual thought in, process it, and then act upon them. So instead of thinking that you have control over the events in your life, you can just process them and let your emotions do the rest. Now, when it comes down to the outcome of an event, your emotions will take you out of the zone. There is one emotion, however, that will keep you in the zone, and that's anger. In fact, controlled anger is a deadly weapon in the right hands. The difference between a cleaner and everyone else is the ability to control your feelings instead of letting your feelings control you. The ability to take all those natural instincts and process them. To take all your natural energy and be able to act and drive upon it. We're often taught how to think and feel, especially from a young age. You were probably taught to be good, but what does that even mean? Instead, there's an idea of being born relentless and being taught to relent. But if you want to be unstoppable, you have to be able to unlearn a lot of what we were taught. You have to forget about the restrictions and limitation, the negativity and doubt. In other words, you just have to stop thinking. So whether you're playing a sport or running a business, you don't have to have a meeting just to make a decision. Instead, you just make the decision. But many of us, we are reacting rather than acting. We're overthinking, overanalyzing, and these are the exact things that make us lose our natural ability that we're born with. So stop waiting to be taught something that you already know. Every best decision that you'll have comes directly from your gut, and every wrong decision that you make comes from you not listening. Stress will keep you sharp, and it'll change you in ways you never imagined. It'll force you to solve issues that send other people running for cover, and you can't succeed without it. Your level of success is defined by how well you embrace it. So you're in that situation where everybody is freaking out, and you're the one who is staying calm, cool, collected. This is where you know what to do, and you're not going to stress over your emotions here, but rather you're going to make a decision to act upon it. This isn't about like winging it, but rather you're already prepared for the event. And you should have the courage to say, I'm gonna go for it. And if this decision turns out to be a bad decision, I'm gonna change and I'm going to learn from it. You should feel no pressure when you screw up and admit that you're wrong. That's part of being a human. In fact, you should have the confidence to say that you screwed up, because people will respect that. Make a choice, or a choice will be made for you. Figure out what you want to do and do it better than anyone else. If you want to be relentless, you have to earn it every single day. It doesn't take talent to work hard. It does take talent, though, to have the willingness to be dedicated, to improve, to be better. When you're going through a world of pain, you're not the one hiding. You face the adversity and the critics who are going to judge you. You step into the zone and you perform at that peak level. You're only as good as the tools that you choose and your ability to use them to your maximum potential. That's exactly what a cleaner's talent is. Being able to use the tools to the maximum potential. Success and failure are 100% a mental game. One person's idea of success could mean a failure to another person. A cleaner, however, never sees failure. In fact, failure is normal. This isn't the idea of you tried your best, but rather you're always at your best and you're always seeking a new best. This is the relentless pursuit of excellence. Always believing in your ability and demanding more of yourself than anyone else would. Never being satisfied, which means that you are always prepared for the next challenge or situation that comes your way. And every dream that you imagine, it's not a fantasy, it's reality. And it can all be real if you follow a vision, create a plan, and act upon it, never stopping until it's real. The greatest battle that you are going to face is a battle with yourself. You will always be your toughest opponent. Always demand more out of yourself than others demand of you. Be honest with yourself, and you'll be able to meet every challenge with the acknowledgement that you can do it and that you are relentless in doing so. Life can be complicated, but the truth is not. And that was Relentless. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.